Most of us mortals struggle to find success in only one domain, but there's one person who seemingly manages to do it all, Loupiote. A formidable in-game leader for Zerance Mint in Valorant's GC circuit, an esports talent on VCT broadcasts both in French and in English, and on top of that, she manages to do all of this while she's still a university student. It's crazy. But even she didn't have it easy. From the start, her parents couldn't agree on whether she should be allowed to play games at all. On top of that, she faced a major language barrier while trying to find teams in Japan, doing an exchange year as part of her university course. And that's just scratching the surface of her struggles that she's managed to overcome. So, how did this French talent rise to prominence, balancing the intense demands of competitive play, her studies, and the public-facing world of broadcasting? Let's rewind and explore her journey together. Like many, Lou's earliest interactions with gaming weren't on the competitive stage, or even on a powerful PC. They were simple childhood memories, often constrained by circumstance.
I think it was when I was maybe 8 years old. My father gave me a DS for Christmas or something, and I was playing like Pony Friends, like Mario Bros, this kind of stuff. I think that's a very vivid memory because my dad and my mom broke up when I was young. Like the education I got from both of them was very different, and I wasn't allowed at my mom's place to be in front of screens, like monitors, like PC, TV and stuff was forbidden. So I couldn't play games when I was at my mom, and this was most of the time, you know.
The shift to PC gaming and eventually competitive Valorant came later, catalysed by an unexpected global event and the simple desire to connect with friends.
So the thing is, COVID, I think, broke a lot of families, scared a lot of people. But actually, I think this was maybe my biggest opportunity because I was supposed to travel to the US for my A-level in 2020, and there was the COVID. So my mom said, then you can pick another A-level gift that is pretty expensive, you know, traveling to the US is pretty expensive. So I was like, okay, then I will buy a PC to game.
The PC, initially pitched as a tool for studying, quickly became her gateway into the world her friends inhabited online.
Because my friends in high school, I was in the scientific branch, so there was mainly boys, and they were all after school going on Discord and playing Fortnite, all this kind of stuff together. And I was always watching them on Discord on my phone at night when I would go back home and do my homework, and I was always envious, you know, to be able to play with them. So yeah, that's what I told my mom. Mom, I need a PC to study. And it was actually for gaming. Yeah, but she didn't know the specs of the PC I was getting. So yeah, she just gave it to me.
Lou became a gamer during the pandemic, but her path into competitive Valorant was less about raw aim and more about her natural aptitude for strategy and leadership.
I think it's a bit special when it comes to game changers because game changers are an opportunity for women, especially at the beginning of the game, even though you weren't that good, you know, for male players to go pro, even at the beginning of the game, you had to be a good player of CS before, Overwatch or Fortnite, you know, you had to come with a background and be really shooting and have insane mechanics since the beginning of the game. For girls, it was a bit different because when the Game Changer initiative was launched, I think there was still a lot of noob players, you know, who had just started gaming with Valorant just like me, who were maybe plat or diamond, and you were this rank and you could dream of being a pro player, you know, which is something completely impossible for men at the same level. Knowing that you have opportunities to become better and become pro eventually, not in 10 years or not in 5 years, but at the end of the year, maybe, if you manage to climb to diamond, immortal, then you could get into a team. I think that was pretty motivating.
Lou found her strength in the mental game, thinking, communicating, and leading.
I was thinking about strats because I couldn't shoot, right? Because I hadn't played any FPS or shooting games before. So I just had to think, you know, my added value to the game was just thinking about strats and communicating with my teammates and trying to you know, shuffle everyone a bit together and try to make a thing with them. So I was calling a lot. So I think, you know, that I got that IGL fiber since the very beginning in ranked.
This natural inclination towards calling and strategy quickly led to opportunities, solidifying her role as an in-game leader from the very beginning of her competitive journey.
Kind of, you were always an IGL. You had that IGL sort of.
That's how I feel. Yeah, that's why I feel. Because when I started being a semi-pro, I think my first team was 10 star, and they immediately asked me, you know, to make the calls, and I just learned with my first team being an IGL.
Lou's career took a fascinating turn when her university studies led her across the globe to Japan. This year wasn't just about an academic pursuit, it became a profound learning experience that shaped her not only as a person, but also as a leader.
I left to Japan on my third year of university, because I'm still a student as of now, where we had to pick a university abroad and go there for a year. So I went to Saitama in Japan.
The cultural differences, particularly in communication styles within gaming, were immediately apparent and challenging for someone used to the more direct approach of EMEA.
So when I arrived, I started playing ranked and stuff, and I was immediately shocked by the difference in culture. Coming from EMEA, being French, being used to those debates and fights in ranked, and arriving in Japan, where you speak too much in ranked, you're seen as a bit bossy or annoying or trying to force the others into doing things that they actually don't want to do. So it was hard for me at the beginning, personality-wise.
This forced adaptation taught her valuable lessons in interpersonal dynamics and, reading the room, skills crucial for any effective leader.
And I think that this year in Japan taught me a lot of things, not taking too much space over the others. Sometimes you need to let people have their space, even though they're not asking for it, And there was also this kind of kuki or yomu things, which means read the room and know when you need to say something and when you don't, especially when it comes to conflicts. So that was another thing I struggled with. It's very rare to give feedbacks to each other, to complain about things. And Japanese people hate conflicts, debates and stuff, that they rather say they have no opinion on something. So it was also something different for me, trying to read the room, read between the lines when people are not saying things.
Despite finding opportunities and connecting with players like Ram, external factors such as residency rules and her planned return date prevented her from signing with Japanese teams. It was a frustrating setback.
I was supposed to sign with them by the end of December, but in order to compete in Game Changers Japan, you need to have at least 3 Japanese players. And they already had 2 Korean players, so it couldn't work. They wanted me to stay till the end of the next year, and I had to fly back to France in August, to start my uni year. So things were just not under my control, and this was very frustrating. I was really sad about it.
However, the experience wasn't in vain. It accumulated an opportunity with Team Grow, where she could apply her refined leadership skills and prove herself once again.
And finally that Grow opportunity came. So I joined them. We had only a few pracs, 3 weeks or so. It was more of a friends team, more chill group. And yeah, we ended up doing not that bad actually. We won against EMEA, then lost to Fennel 2-1, and I had a live game on Heaven on Killjoy. I was happy that I got to prove myself both as an IGL in Japanese and as a, just a player like Anchor.
Returning to EMEA, the lessons learned in Japan, particularly regarding human relationship and communication, proved invaluable as she embarked on building a new team under the Zerance banner.
Handling human relationships, for sure. The few arguments I've had with some of my teammates in Grow 1 especially taught me how people react to just feedback that are not specifically negative, or the way they can communicate without knowing if you're having a rough day and they would just say the wrong sentence that just pisses you off for the whole scrim, So I think I became more careful about this, and whether people believe it or not, especially in France, I think I cooled down a little bit after coming back from Japan, and I feel like I came back way more mature and starting use less fights in ranked and being less confrontational.
The journey through contenders with Zerance Mint was a grind, marked by frustrating losses against teams they felt like they should be, highlighting the importance of consistency and team cohesion.
I think our issue was that we were winning matches when we were clear underdogs, but for teams that were, where the odds were pretty equal, I felt like we would crumble. And I'm including myself and my teammates, the different teammates I've had, when we realized that it wasn't going to be easy, and what we had done that seemed more difficult than this match before was not helping us winning this specific match. I think we kind of felt overwhelmed, and we realized that we're playing way more as a team as we were, and understanding that there were so many aspects of the game that you need to control in order to be the best team at a specific moment. You can have 5 better shooters than the enemy team. If the enemy team is playing as a team, they're having fun, they're having good comms, somehow they're having the clutches, then you can't do anything about it but step up yourself.
But they persevered, making it to the main event as the first full French team in the new format, with a deeply personal and significant achievement for Lou.
I think for me it meant the world, like first being the full French team, but also the team that I had built from scratch. And when the Zerance staff told me, like, I trust you, like we trust you, we want you to build like a full roster, you pick whoever you want. I just wanted to let them know and let them see that they made the right choice by trusting me.
Beyond her personal connection to the roster, representing France on the Game Changer stage held a special meaning.
I think French people have a reputation on the game that I understand, you know, from ranked and stuff, but also on the competitive scene, like our level of English, our like behavior, us getting tilted or frustrated and stuff. And I really wanted to kind of make France shine again, you know, in esports, and I think that was a great way of showing it.
What makes Lou's journey even more remarkable is her ability to balance the demanding schedule of a competitive player with her growing career as a broadcast talent. This dual role isn't just a time management challenge, it's a synergy that enhances her understanding of the game by being surrounded by the expertise of pro players.
It helps me with the game sense, for sure, like understanding the game, understanding rotations and the timings and the moves that you need to do when you're in a 4v5 or this kind of stuff. I've seen it so many times, I yelled it so many times in a microphone, like that, of course, you know, it helps me, like macro-wise at least, for sure. That's the strength that my coaches, like all the coaches I've had, like highlighted about me, is that I had so many ideas.
Balancing these passions requires dedication, and Lou's advice to others looking to follow a similar path is simple. Explore everything, but know when to focus.
I think you can do as many things as you want, as long as you're good at it. Like as long as you feel like you're good at it, that people around you tell you like you're doing a great job. From the moment you start feeling like you're becoming a bit mediocre or you're not enjoying yourself as much as you used to doing one of those specific things, don't be afraid to like drop it.
Looking ahead, Lou has clear goals, even if achieving them means making difficult choices about her time.
When you're doing like a lot of stuff on the side, as I am, you know, like with the casting, streaming, hosting and having my studies, it's really hard, you know, to put all your eggs in the same basket. And I think that is what I would eventually need to do in order to go like next level, which would be to play against men or in mixed teams, which would be my goal. Eventually, like first goal would be, of course, to qualify to champs. But even for this, I think it would require more time for me and to like sacrifice some other aspects of like my professional life.
At the heart of it all, despite the strategies, the broadcasts and the travel, lies a simple, powerful love for the game and the moments it creates.
What do you love most about esports?
I think the relief on the face of the player when one of their teammates wins a clutch. I think that's an insane feeling, especially when you have player cameras on.
To wrap things up, let's get a few quick insights from Loupiote on some rapid fire questions.
Agent you love but you never get to play?
Jet.
Is there a map that is underrated right now?
Underrated? No. In the current map pool, no. All maps? I think Sunset.
A map you wish they delete?
Split.
Do you have a pre-match ritual before your officials?
I have my friend, the one who introduced me to esports. He comes to my place when I have a match, so he watches it like on the couch. And before I go to play my match, he does this to me, like to wake me up with wet hands, and then I go play.
If you could steal one skill from one GC player, what would the skill be and from who?
Either GX, like cold blood, I would say, in like clutches and the way she entries as Omen, or Florizine.
One pro you'd love to be on a team with?
Riens from Heretics.
Okay. Who's the most cracked player you've teamed with?
Tway, the controller of my team.
What is your comfort game outside of Valorant?
None. I'm not playing any game apart from Valorant.
If you win in esports, what would you be doing?
Politics.
Favorite VCT team?
Heretics.
In 3 words, describe your first experience in T1 GC EMEA.
I thought it was going to be harder. Exciting, and I was surprised by the girls energy that is actually in GC, and everyone is just so happy meeting the others.
If fans were to remember one thing about you as a player, what do you want that to be?
I think it's what I'm doing for the women, like female scene, calling out sexist people in ranked or on social media, or showing that women can yell and have a masculine voice without being less feminine, you know, this kind of stuff.
From a childhood limited to handheld consoles to leading a French roster on the international stage while simultaneously building a career in broadcasting, Lou's journey is a testament to passion, adaptability, and the power of seizing opportunities. As she continues to balance these demanding roles and strive for her next goals, one thing is clear: Loupiote is a unique force in Valorant, both in and out of the server. If the story resonated with you or you're curious to find out more about Lou, you can follow her here on all these socials, and the full interview is linked in the description, as we talked about a lot more than what made it into this video. If you did like the video though, feel free to leave a comment, like and subscribe, and let me know who you'd like to see interviewed next or which team you want to see broken down in a future video. You can also join the Discord for regular updates and a little behind the scenes when I go to events. I do appreciate you guys being here, and I'll catch you guys next time, my little ice cubes. Inclination.